for the Israelites, Ali, not for me. I'm trying to be as calm as I can with you.
I'm calm as well. I'm not
being
calm.
honest. You're not being honest. You're not being consistent.
Tell me
my
how-
faith does not rely upon the Old Covenant, the Old Covenant or the Old Testament. My faith relies solely on the New Testament and the New Covenant that is with Christ, in Christ's blood, according to Luke 22.
Okay, alright, so I'm
So
asking
if you go to the Old Testament, I'm just going to tell you the same thing, because none of that matters to me. It's not for me, it's for those people at that time, given at that time to turn those people, a barbaric nation, into a better nation.
by killing men, women, children, donkeys, and babies.
Take it 1/750 now.
No, is that happened? Did that
So
happen?
what happened before that?
No, but did that happen?
Yes, it happened.
Okay, good.
What's happened
So in the book of 1 Samuel, chapter
Bro, what's happened? Ali, please, be consistent, bro. Okay, let's go to Surah 99, yeah? Say that. Okay, let's go to Surah 99. In Surah 99, it says, fight the unbelievers.
Listen, you want to
What's
talk
the
about
point?
this? We're going to have a civilized discussion.
I'll have a civilized conversation.
Yeah, that's alright, Rob, you're good. Like he's moving.
I got the meter.
It's paid off.
Captain,
It's going to take like 5 minutes.
I gotta speak to you a bit later.
Captain,
I like it.
Captain, you can stand there.
Where am I standing?
Behind the counter.
The Pavlovian.
Try to don't get
Oh yeah, Captain Bloodfire here needs no introduction. Oh, his blood is on fire. That's right.
It's called Captain Bloodfire, isn't it?
That's right.
There's a mic. Can you see the mic? Aki, can you see the mic bar? One.
Yeah, moving.
Alright.
He's not a big public speaker.
Let me put this here, Captain. Okay, assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, brothers and sisters and dear friends. We're at Salam Corner. Captain, we're at Salam Corner, yeah? What that means is, I don't shout over you, you don't shout over me. We don't insult, we just listen to each other. If we disagree, we agree to disagree. Yeah? So I'm going to give it to you. You believe I misrepresented you, or I lied or something like that. So it's your right, express yourself what I lied about.
Okay. In your latest video, the video you did, you said that I said that Aisha was an adult. I actually said that he was waiting for her to be big enough to put it in. What I meant by it was his penis. The analogy I was using was that a baby, when she's a baby, you cannot put your dick inside a baby. It's too small.
Can we not use those terms?
I won't use those terms, but that was the terms I was using. I'm trying to be, you cannot put your penis inside of a baby. It's too small. But as a baby goes, well, let's say 3 years, that baby will go big enough for that to occur. I wasn't justifying the fact that he did sleep with a 9-year-old. I was saying that he was waiting for her to be big enough to put it in. And according to Islamic jurisprudence, that's what happened. They would have either been fighting, which is the term they use according to Islamic jurisprudence, they would have been fighting. They would have done that either before they had a period or before they were young. Before they were old enough for them to have sexual intercourse. But in normal, they tended to marry early. That was the point you need to stress. So in your video,
You tend to marry early?
Muslims in general, but I'm talking about during the
What
time.
about, there were different people. There was the Roman Empire, there was the Persian Empire. Was it only Muslims that married young, or was it in general people?
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about this situation that happened.
Not
Because
about
in
okay, sorry, finish.
in your video, you said quite clearly that I said that Aisha was an adult. This is the terms you use, and you can watch your video again. In fact, everybody watch it again. I did not say in that video that Aisha was an adult. I was simply using the terms she was waiting for her to be bigger. You can construe bigger how you want. But the term I meant was she was 9 years old. Bigger, it does not mean in the way that you think it means. It meant for me that I was saying that she's waiting until he was waiting until she gets to a point where she's big enough to put his fingers on her. That's what I meant. So you lied about me in that term. And you even when you first uploaded this video Ali, and I noticed it, you said that I justified raping the Bible. That's what you said, and then you corrected it. So I'm glad you at least saw that.
How that correct?
You changed the title from God admits there's rape in the Bible, or God justifies rape. You changed that to God messes up. So you changed it.
No, but the reason I changed it is not because. Yeah, the reason I changed it is not because I was lying. It's because I believe the title would be a bit more catchy. That's the reason.
So you don't believe he was lying about me?
No. Because the thing is, you know when I showed you in the book of Zechariah,
Right.
the book of I think it's chapter Zechariah. So when it's ordered, for example, like, let's establish something. Yeah? Do you believe that Jesus is God?
Yes.
Okay. So therefore, Jesus is God always.
Yes, he always has been.
He always has been. Okay.
Yes.
So is Jesus the same God that's stipulated in the Old Testament, in the book of Samuel, chapter 15, verse 2 to 3, to go to the Amalekites? Yes, we agree they were very bad people. They do really bad stuff, worshipping other idols. Yeah.
No, not only that, they sacrificed their own children to a god named Molech. Basically, what they would do is they heat up that god and basically stick their babies onto it and burn them alive.
Okay. So
I believe that God, through the process, God through that process had to basically teach the children of Israel, and the children of Israel did this themselves. In Exodus, the children of Israel did this themselves. They decided to sacrifice their babies. They committed wickedness. So God himself, he punished them. And the way he punished them was he basically gave the Amalekites their hand. This is what I mean. I'm going through.
When you say God, do you mean Jesus? So
I mean God.
Can you say Jesus?
The reason why I use the term God because that's the term that was used in the Old Testament. If you want to be like on the point, like with semantics, Jesus is nowhere found in the Old Testament. That's a fact. That's a fact.
But we agree that he was God.
But this is why I'm using the term. I agree he's God. I know he's God.
Okay, so can you
that's
say
why I use the term God. I'm not using the term Jesus because the term Jesus is New Testament. It's not Old Testament.
Okay, but
Jesus was the angel of the Lord in the Old Testament, but he wasn't God in the New Testament. You see what I'm saying? So he wasn't God in the New Testament.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, Jesus was God all the time.
He was God all the time, but I'm not using the term God for that. No, I'm not using the term Jesus for that time because one, it's unfundamental. Jesus wasn't around at that time. The word Jesus, the name that the angel of the Lord or the word of the Lord took on, that name Jesus was not used at that time.
Okay, but was it okay? Let's suppose the name wasn't used, but was it the same person?
There's three persons.
The same divine being in the Old Testament and the New Testament.
God did, yes. God
okay, so
did.
therefore,
I believe Jesus.
I'm going to prefer to use Jesus.
No, you can't use Jesus because that's
why not? No,
because that's not. Well, let's be consistent. Let's be consistent.
Exactly,
that's not consistent. If you use the term Jesus in reference to that, Jesus wasn't the term Jesus. The word Jesus wasn't used for the angel of the Lord at that time. So you're using a term that wasn't around that time to talk about that time. It doesn't work.
No, but to me, it seems like when bad things happen in the Bible, he's called Yahweh your God. When good things happen, he's called Jesus. Yeah?
No, I'm sorry. I don't know where you're getting that from. Again, you're looking at the Bible as if it's one body of literature. No, the Bible is different books about different occasions at different times and different covenants.
Okay.
So the covenant of the children of Israel, as you've described, the covenant of the children of Israel, that has nothing to do with the covenant I use now. I'm solely New Testament. My faith is not based upon the Old Testament. The Old Testament has nothing to do with my faith, and it's not fundamental to my faith. The point you're using is that Jesus is God, and I believe Jesus is God as well. But I also believe using the term Jesus in an Old Testament context does not work because it is not consistent, right? And the argument is petty, Ali. Because if you're going to use the argument that there are passages in like, let's say 1 Samuel 15, if you're going to take that out of context and just say, oh, well, this doesn't matter, and just take it out of context and say, oh, this says killing this. Let's go to Surah 9:29. What does it say? It says, Surah 9:29. What does it say? It says, fight the unbelievers.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does. It says, fight the unbelievers. Let's go to it. Go to it.
Chapter Surah Tawbah
9:29.
verse 20.
I think he's talking about fighting the disbelievers.
Yeah, but this is of the... Okay, it says, fight those people of the book. Yeah?
What translation? Because the translation I've got is fight the unbelievers.
No. When you say unbelievers, yes, in that general term they are. But the Christians and the Jews are close to us. But we're not. We can come to this, but that's not my main point. What I'm trying to say is.
No, but that's my point. If you're going to take things out of context,
No, but this is.
I can easily take that out of context and say that commissions you to fight all unbelievers.
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
Right.
No, it doesn't.
Well, then don't take passages out of
though.
context and do what you're accusing me of doing right now. Because you're going to accuse me of taking about context, aren't you?
No, but I'm repeating again. You believe
Let's be
Jesus?
consistent.
Yeah, but that's what I'm asking for. You're saying Jesus is the God. He's been God all the time. If he's been God all the time, then the title.
Yes, but the title Jesus would not be used for Yahweh at that time.
But
so let's be consistent.
Is he the okay? Look, he wasn't called Jesus back then. But was he the same God? Yes or no?
Yes, I just
Okay,
said
1
that.
second. All
I
you're
said
telling me,
he was good.
You're telling me the names are different. So you're saying Ali, he was not called Jesus then, but he's called Jesus now. I'm saying irrelevant. If he was called...
It is relevant, bro, because I wouldn't go to your Quran and say,
Okay,
oh, well,
alright,
there's
okay.
passages here, and I'll just abrogate them wholly and say,
Okay,
oh,
can
this is what we use for this.
I do this? Can I go and shoot someone, and then change my name and go? My name's John now.
That's not
Ali.
the argument for them. I'm not saying that God did not do those things. I'm not saying he
that's
did all
what I'm
those
saying.
things.
So did Jesus
but
do those things?
you have to. I'm not talking about Jesus.
Did he do it?
The term Jesus, we have to be consistent. The
I'm
term
trying.
Jesus, stop running around. The term Jesus was not used at that time. So if you're going to be consistent, we have to be consistent to the Old Testament covenants and Old Testament laws that apply to that time. There's a lot of things that I don't do now, like circumcision, like sacrificing to the Lord, like incense, like other stuff, even laws that were subjected due to the Israelites, which we do not do now, such as like divorce laws like, that Jesus himself came down and fulfilled.
Okay.
Those laws we are not under. We are under solely, me as a Christian, solely I am under, you can maybe go to Jesus, but solely I am under the New Testament and Jesus Christ. The covenant made with Jesus Christ. So going to that does not attack me. If anything, it attacks the Jews because they're the ones who are solely Old Testament. Yes, they believe in Old Testament.
The point is this here. We're looking at someone, let's suppose there's someone who has committed a crime, yeah? And their name has changed now to before. So before they were
You're
called...
assuming that he committed a crime.
Can I finish?
Where was the crime?
No, I'm just saying, let's assume a crime was committed, yeah? This person's new name is Matthew. Before he was called David. Is he the same person that committed the action?
What is your point, Ali?
No, but answer my question. He was David 10 years ago, he's Matthew now. Is he the same person who has committed the crime with a different name?
You're conflating that God commits any
No,
crime.
I never said that. I'm asking you
I want to ask you this
I'm
question.
talking about
No,
David.
I want to ask you this question.
Why are you not
Be
asking my question?
consistent. Be consistent.
I'm trying to tell you to be consistent.
If God kills somebody,
Yeah.
is that right or wrong?
No, God can do whatever pleases his majesty.
Right.
He can do that. My point
So
is
if
this.
God has foreknowledge of all things,
Yes.
all things in and outside of existence, and he knows in full foreknowledge what is going to be the outcome of every situation,
Yes.
does he have the right to wipe out an
Yes,
entire
yes,
nation?
yes.
If he
He
knows
has
that
it.
nation
Yes.
will
He has it in the Quran.
No, 1 minute.
He has-
Will fester and grow into an
Yes,
even
yes,
more
yes,
wickedly
yes.
because he did that in the Quran, right?
Yeah.
So
No, that's
I'm
not my
wondering. No. But the point I'm trying to make is, for that time, for that covenant, at that time, those laws were for God's purposes to rid the world
I'm not saying
of.
that. Hear me out, Captain.
You're
I'm
not hearing what I'm
Captain,
saying.
I'm hearing you. I'm saying I'm not telling you because if I said I'm shooting myself in the foot, Allah destroyed nations in the Quran. I'm not. That's not my point. I'm a hypocrite.
Right, but nations include women and babies.
No. But that's what I'm saying. God can do that. The difference between the Quran and the Bible is that in 1 Samuel chapter 15 verse 2 to 3, it's a war ethic. They're telling you to go to Amalekites. Allah's not destroying nations. Now, I want to ask you a simple question. If you're going to reject the Prophet Muhammad and the Quran and Islam based on your subjective morality that you have today, and you're going to call the Prophet, oh, he wasn't a prophet because he had bad morals, you can say, bye-bye to Jesus.
Not really,
You know
no,
what? Let me
because
tell you.
your
Let me
prophet.
tell you.
No, sorry, your
Captain,
prophet is the best example
Captain,
for all mankind
But I
for
never said
all
he's not.
time.
I never said he's not. I
Moses
accept that.
is not the best example
No,
for
I'm
all
talking
mankind.
about Jesus. I don't
None
talk
of
about
them.
Moses.
No,
Captain,
bro.
I
If
listen to you.
the example I'm
listen to you.
using, the example I'm using, New Testament.
Captain,
If you can
listen
move
to
to
me.
the New Testament, that would be nice.
I am.
Because the New Testament is where it's at.
No, but
You
I
go
am.
into Old Covenants
I'm
and
not.
talking about how Jesus is God is a non-argument.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Be consistent.
Let me finish.
There are covenants.
Okay, let me finish here. The point is this. I'll repeat again. Your problem with the Prophet is he's a good role model for all kind, all times. Yeah. If that's the case, you're saying Ali. How do you justify the Prophet marrying Aisha? How do you justify him doing da-da-da-da-da? You're saying I'm rejecting the Prophet as a true prophet because of certain things he's done that I believe is not moral. If that is the case, you have to be consistent. What did you say?
Well, you're not being consistent because your prophet isn't God.
I haven't finished. But that's my point. If a prophet is going to be rejected of his prophethood because of so-called allegations of bad morals, if you claim
It
that...
wasn't allegations, it was Sa'iyat
let me
Muslim
finish.
and Sa'iyat
Can I
Bukhari.
listen? But
Go on.
you're not missing the point. You're twisting it and you're labeling it, yeah, without seeing the full story. I'm saying if you're going to say to the Prophet of Islam, you are not a prophet because of bad morals, you have to say bye-bye to your God. Let me tell you why. Hear me out. You have to be consistent. Because if the Prophet is not a prophet because of bad morals, if that's the case, let's go to the God of the Bible. New Testament, Old Testament. The point is this.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ali. You keep
I'm sorry
talking
as well,
about.
but let me finish.
No, I'm sorry.
Can I finish?
You keep.
Captain, I'm making a case.
You're making
No, no, no,
non-arguments.
case.
You're making non-arguments
Captain, come on.
because I've already explained to
Come on,
you
let me
that we are
finish.
under New Testament,
Captain,
New
what was the
Covenant,
agreement? We don't shower
and
with
you're
each other.
going back, bro.
But that was the
You're
agreement. I'm
going
gonna
back
listen
to the Old
Okay, let
Testament.
me ask my question. You answer.
Well, then stop conflating things that you don't understand.
If I am, then when you speak, I'll listen and you can dismantle me, yeah? Now, the point is this. Jesus in the Old Testament, yeah, okay, has said some stuff which he's saying that Jesus is now a new person. He's changed his mind. He's a bright new person.
I didn't say change his mind.
One second.
You're ignoring
Captain,
what
you're
I'm
gonna
saying
have your own
again.
time.
You're
Captain,
lying
you're gonna have your own
again.
time. If I'm lying, you'll have your own time. Listen to me. Jesus stipulated rape in the book of, I think it's Zechariah, Ezekiel, I can't remember, yeah? And then he also ordered the children of Israel to go to the Amalekites, kill men, women, children, babies, and donkeys, yeah? And there is many things he stipulated in the Old Testament. This is the same Jesus, same God. If you're going to say bye-bye to the Prophet Muhammad, you need to say bye-bye to your God. And I'm asking you, show me anywhere in the Quran that tells us Muslims to go to a land and kill men, women, children, babies. Anywhere in the whole Islamic text.
Right, I'm
one.
trying to explain the context, but you're not listening. So the context of those passages, because you tend to jump. You go to like one verse and say, well, this is the whole meaning. Now, the context of the passages before that in Exodus, the Amalekites actually killed off the women and children of the children of Israel. I'm not. This you can look in Exodus as well. All right. 1 Samuel 15. You've got to understand the context of that as well. It's you don't understand. God in Genesis, go to Genesis 15:16. In Genesis 15:16 it says, I'll give them 400 years. He's talking about the Amalekites. Give them 400 years until their iniquity is increased. After that, judgment will come. God is allowed through people, for humans, to pass any judgment he wants to, including wiping out a generation. If you're going to say that God wipes out generations, as they do in the Quran, if you're going to say that that's wrong, then you might as well say goodbye to your God, because it's, according to Surah 929, he commissions unbelievers to be killed. And he also says, unbelievers can be men and children.
Show me where it says men, women, and children.
Unbelievers can be women and children.
No, it doesn't say that.
So you're saying that unbelievers can't be women?
No.
So your God's inconsistent?
No, because it tells you very clearly that you
Isn't
can't kill
the
men, women, and
God of
children.
Allah the God
Surah
of
Baqarah
Noah?
verse 190,
Flooding the whole earth.
clearly, you said that the Amalekites were killing the children of Israel. In the Quran, Allah doesn't tell us, I will teach them not the unbelievers. Because if someone kills my child, I'm not going to go and kill their child. It doesn't work like that.
Right,
So
you're still being inconsistent.
Can you show me
because
where it says kill
No, I'm sorry.
children?
Fight the unbelievers is so vague.
No.
You can literally
The
go.
Christians and the
I
Jews.
could go. Listen, if I was a
Fighting
Muslim
them.
and I saw fight the unbelievers, sorry, 1 minute. If I was a Muslim, I saw fight the unbelievers. I read that in his passage. I thought, whoa, might as well go and fight the unbelievers.
Exactly.
I
ISIS
go
is
and
like
bomb,
you. That's what ISIS
and I
do.
can go and bomb.
They read one word.
Hold on 1 minute, bro. And I, as a Muslim, I'm saying as a Muslim, theoretically as a Muslim, would go and blow up a house full of people. I'm still fighting unbelievers, am I not?
No.
Under whose law?
No, because we've done is what ISIS do. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi. This is what these people do. Anjem Chowdhury. Why do we confronted their followers?
Because they read your books.
Because they have the same.
No, because they read your books.
I read the book.
They read
Why
your
don't
book.
I do it? I read the book. Muhammad Ajami reads the book.
Bro, they read your books.
Why don't we do
They
it?
read your books and take it literally, and there are.
Why don't we do it?
And you like ignore it, or you try and cover it up, just like you cover up Asia's Aisha, even though that was wrong and that was sick and that was disgusting.
I said it again. The Prophet married Aisha at 6 and consummated 9. I've got no problem with that. I've done videos.
Yeah, I know you've got no problem with that.
I spoke to an English gentleman, yeah, on my video. It's got nearly 400,000 views. He himself said that makes sense because it's context. You are coming in with a bias. I'll repeat
what
again.
Context, bro?
Well, I've said
what's
that.
the context?
Listen.
You're telling me that Abu Bakr had the right to sell out his daughter to his prophet just for the sake of getting some money?
Okay, can you
So
can you substantiate that, please? Can you bring me hadith that says that Abu Bakr sold it for money?
Bro, Abu Bakr,
show me, please.
according to your...
Can you show me, please? Okay,
I'm saying according to your... You get them yourself.
It doesn't exist.
It does exist.
Okay, show me, please.
According to your sources, Abu Bakr was the one who gave Aisha,
Use my phone. Use my phone, find it.
Who gave
find
Aisha into marriage to the Prophet. Am I lying or not? Am I lying or not? Are you listening to what I'm saying?
You're lying.
Abu
Find me the
Bakr.
hadith where it said that he sold it for money.
Abu Bakr is the father of Aisha.
Captain,
yes or no?
You can't call yourself captain if you make these claims.
Abu Bakr is the father. Can you stop talking to me? Abu Bakr is the father of Aisha, correct or not?
Yes.
Right. So he would have had a hand at letting the Prophet marry her. Am I right?
But you said for money.
Bro, at that time, and this is the arguments I've heard from Muslims. Wait and listen to me. This is the arguments I've heard from Muslims. They said at that time, because they married, each family married another for financial purposes. At that time, that's what would have happened. So Abu Bakr would have allowed the Prophet Muhammad to marry for them to join houses for financial purposes. This is what I've heard from Muslims.
Can you bring hadith? I don't care what. So I've got some Muslims coming saying that we can kill all the unbelievers like you. But we don't follow him.
Bro,
so
but
can you show
your
me
book says
evidence?
kill on the unbelievers.
Show me,
Let's not
please.
get into that.
Show me, please.
What your book saying kill on the
I
unbelievers.
repeat again. In the book of Amalekites, it says a direct order: kill men, women, children, babies. Show me any verse in the Quran.
Right, but I've waited for you.
The Islamic
I've waited for you,
literature
Ali, though,
that says the following:
to show me
go and kill
where that
unbelievers,
applies to me now.
men, women, children, and
Because
babies.
you're not being
Can you
consistent.
show me,
That
please?
does not apply to me now.
Can
That
you-
verse 99, that does apply to you now.
Jesus who
It applies to you now, but it doesn't apply to you now.
Jesus who legislated it, man.
And what did Jesus say?
So
in
you have to say
Luke
bye-bye to
22?
Jesus.
What did Jesus say? What did Jesus say in Luke 22? What did Jesus say throughout the gospel?
What did he say?
Love thy neighbor with all your heart and love thy God. Love thy neighbor as yourself and love thy God with all your heart.
Oh, so is that
Those are the
concept?
two greatest commandments given to Christians.
And what do
I am
Christians do
not
today?
under the old covenantal laws. The old covenantal laws were given at that time. Your argument is folly. It's a non-argument
Okay.
because you cannot use it against a Christian. You can only use it against a Jewish person because they believe in the old covenant. I don't believe in the old covenant. I don't believe that saves. It's the law of faith that saves, and that's that law of faith under Christ that saves. Not the old laws.
Okay.
And you're going to
Is it-
show me.
Okay, is it Jesus
I know what
speaking?
you're
Yeah.
gonna show me. I know what you're going to show me.
Okay, don't misunderstand why I have come. I did not come to abolish the law. So he
Right.
means he hasn't come to abolish the law.
No, he didn't come to
Of Moses or the writings of the prophets. So what do we understand firstly? He has not come to abolish the law. If he
He
said,
hasn't come
I've come to abolish the law, he's right.
That
Captain,
doesn't
right.
mean that we're
Let me
under
finish.
that law.
Let Jesus talk. No, I came to accomplish their purpose. I tell you the truth, until heaven and earth disappear, not even the smallest detail of God's law will disappear until his purpose
Now
is
go
achieved.
to Luke
Let me
22.
finish. One second.
Do you know how covenant
I'm on
works?
Matthew.
Ali?
Why are you going to Luke, bro?
The
So
reason
if
why I'm
you
going to
ignore the
Luke
least-
is because
let me
Luke
finish.
explains it fully.
Captain, now listen to you. Let me listen
Bro,
to you. So if
go
you
to
ignore
Luke.
the least commandments, listen. If you ignore the least of the commandments,
You'll be least in the kingdom
yes,
of heaven.
and
I've read it
yes,
already.
thank you. You memorize the subhanAllah, yeah?
Does it say that? Does it say
Okay.
that you'll be saved?
But
Does it say that
anyone who
salvation
obeys
is due?
God's laws and teaches them will be called
Does
great
it
in the
say
kingdom
that
of heaven.
salvation is due through the old laws?
One second.
Yes or no?
If
Does it,
somebody
no,
says-
Ali,
yes,
you've been
yes,
speaking for a long time.
yes.
Does it say
I've
that the
started.
old laws are for salvation purposes? Yes or no? Does it say that?
If it says at the end of it that you will be called the least,
Least in the kingdom of heaven. You'll still
and-
be in the kingdom of heaven,
but-
even though you've done all, you've broken all those things.
But anyone
No,
who
Ali,
obeys,
you destroyed your own argument.
it's not night.
You just destroyed your own argument, Ali.
Daytime. But anyone who obeys God's laws and
You should've
teaches
told
them
yourself that last
will be
time.
called great in the kingdom of heaven. Yeah. So
Right.
you'll be called great in the kingdom of heaven if you abide by them.
And
So don't
less
come-
in the kingdom of heaven. Who receives the kingdom of heaven according to the Bible?
those
Ali?
who obey the law.
Ali, be consistent. Who receives the kingdom of heaven according to the Bible?
It says here that
Those who believe in Christ.
It's here,
John
man.
3:16
It's
says, those who believe in Christ will be saved. So that's still salvific. It's not about breaking the law. If it said there,
what does this mean?
if it said there you will not be saved,
What does that
then I would
mean?
agree with you.
No, but what
but
does
nowhere
that
does it
mean?
say that you'll not be saved.
No, but
It says,
it says, look, there's the last two sentences, yeah?
Least in the
it
kingdom
says,
of
look,
heaven.
so you will be called, look, so if you ignore, look, this is Jesus,
Least in
not
the
me.
kingdom of heaven.
So if you ignore the least commandment and
ignorant,
teach others to do the same, so meaning if you ignore it, like he's ignoring it, and he's telling people, listen, man, that's the Old Testament, forget it.
No,
What
no,
he's
no,
saying,
no, again.
you will be called the least in the
Again, you
kingdom of
don't
heaven.
even know the law. You don't know the law.
It's Jesus, not me. I'm reading Jesus for you.
He's talking. Guess who is he
But
talking to
anyone
at that time?
who obeys God's
Who
laws
is he
and
talking
teaches
to
them
at
will
that
be
time?
called great in the
He is
kingdom of
talking
heaven.
to the Jews. He's speaking to the Pharisees. The Pharisees believed in the old laws.
Yes,
right?
so he's coming
so
to
they
say, "I
kept the
fucking
covenants.
fulfill
That's why they went to stone the adulterous woman.
So why are you
because
accept
that
Jesus?
was their
I don't
law.
understand. So how are you accepting
I accept Jesus
as
more
God?
than you because you didn't read the whole passage.
Jesus has said rape, kill
didn't read-
babies,
you didn't read the whole
torture
passage.
people,
You
and
didn't read the whole
no, but wallahi,
passage.
look at the
Ali Dawah,
inconsistency. Yeah?
Ali Dawah, you did not read the whole passage.
Can you
What
say
does
my
it
name one
say?
more time?
What does it say?
It's Ali Dawah.
Stop being a troll, bro. Can we
let me,
talk?
but you're not letting me talk.
But you're not letting me talk either, bro.
You talk, let me know when you finish. I'm holding the mic for you.
All right, I'll give you the mic. All right, let's read this in this context. But anyone who obeys God's laws and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. Let's read before that. So if you ignore the least commandment and teach others to do the same, you will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. Right, these laws are not salvific then. How can they be? If it's the case that those laws are salvific, that means that anybody who breaks one part of this law would not receive the kingdom of heaven at all. But this law, this says clearly that anyone who does least of these laws will be least in the kingdom of heaven. Are you getting what I'm saying? Is anybody getting what I'm saying?
So what's the reward for kingdom of heaven if Jesus is saying that?
So it means that something else is the salvation.
What is that?
Jesus Christ. John 3:16. Read it properly.
So you know when he says, you answered, but anyone who obeys God's and laws teaches them will be great. And what does he mean by great? Like what reward would you get for obeying them? Why is he saying that? Why is he trying
Great,
to...
you are great in popularity, great in status. But it doesn't mean that those least in the kingdom of heaven do not receive the kingdom of heaven. The point is you're missing the kingdom of heaven bit.
Okay.
Why did it, Ali, answer me this question and be consistent. Why does the person who does the least of it, why would the person who does the least of these commandments still receive the kingdom of heaven? But in what way?
You're the least.
Yeah, but why would they, least in the kingdom of heaven?
Yes.
Right, why would they still be allowed to be in the kingdom of heaven?
No, because they believe in Jesus.
Right.
As a savior, yeah.
So what is the soul for salvation? What is the soul
No,
for salvation?
salvation is for you to believe in Jesus.
Yes, the
I never
salvation
said, I know, I
is
accept
for you to
that.
believe in Jesus.
My point is this,
Right.
I'm saying, isn't Jesus the same person who taught things that you are disturbed about in the Old Testament? That's what you keep saying. Forget the Old Testament, it's not Jesus, it's God, it's Yahweh. I'm saying,
But you've
isn't
ignored,
this the same Jesus?
bro,
Captain,
you've
listen to you, man. Listen to me.
All right, yeah.
Relax, don't get, I don't want to get panic
You
attack.
don't listen.
Yeah, relax, man. I'm saying very simply, yeah, let's suppose argument say what you're saying is right. Your salvation is with Jesus. I'm saying, isn't Jesus the same God of the Old Testament who legislated things that you claim the prophet did, which the prophet didn't? But even if it was to, let's say, argument's sake, the prophet did that, argument's sake, yeah? What your God, not prophet, God, your Lord, your God, commanded the rape of women. He commanded the smashing of, get the babies and smash them on rock.
Translation is rubbish.
Let me finish.
You're talking about Zacharias.
Let me finish. Jesus commanded things that you would run a mile from. How are you accepting him as your God,
The reason
but
why-
telling us Muslims that your prophet is
The
not a prophet
reason why-
because he did certain things
The
that
reason
it's not
why
consistent?
is because
Please.
that example, those things that happen, they have a context, and that context applies to that
So,
time.
context of
I
rape.
do not have to
Are
do
you
those things.
justifying rape?
If you just go to Luke 22,
Are you justifying rape?
I'm not justifying
At that time,
rape.
Jesus ordered for the rape to happen of certain women.
It means ravage. And that expressive language is used.
rape,
Hebrews at the
rape.
time, Hebrews who would have wrote the
Don't
Bible.
change it.
1 minute, bro. Hebrews who would have wrote the Bible, because you got to understand, you're conflating the Quran with the Bible. We do not believe that the Bible is God's literal words in that sense. We don't believe that it's God's literal words.
Then how you
We
follow
believe
something
that
that's
these
not
people, during that time in Zacharias, they would have used expressive language. Like there's passages in the Bible that say go out and completely annihilate them. But then you find out that the
Didn't they do
Canaanites, but then you find out that there's still Canaanites still living there. So they didn't completely annihilate them, even though they were told apparently by God to annihilate them. This was the expressive language that was used of that time to express those things, and the Hebrews used that because those people that write them. You got to understand, the Bible is not the word of God like you think the Quran, the word is the word of God.
Yeah, exactly. Thank
Right.
you. At least you
No,
that's not the word
it's
of
the
God.
truth, because Jesus is the word of God. Read John 1:1.
It's not-
In the beginning was the word,
that's
and the
not
word
my-
was
that's
with
not
God,
my
and the word was
That's
God.
not
You
my
believe
point.
the Quran is an eternal book. I do not believe that at all.
Okay.
I do not believe the Bible is an eternal book. The Bible in itself is not fundamental to my salvation. You need to understand that.
Okay, once again, I'm just.
You've gone back to Deuteronomy, even though I told you to go to Luke 22.
No,
Be
no, no.
consistent.
You're missing the point. The point is
You're
this,
missing the point.
Jesus is the God. This is where you get uncomfortable, and that's why you're
I'm
you're
not uncomfortable, mate. I'm
You know
fine.
why, Captain? Because the God of the Old Testament, yeah, the God of the Old Testament, which is Jesus, has done some disturbing things which you can't accept.
I can accept.
And because no, you can't. And
I
you're
can
changing it.
accept.
You're even saying the word rape is not rape.
I said it
rape.
was ravaged in the Hebrew, bro. If you read the Hebrew, it's ravaged. They
There are-
translated
there are-
that.
there
There
are
are
other-
translators who will
There are
translate
other
things wrong.
words where it says, for example, when you go into war, you kill the men and take the women who have not laid with another man, meaning virgins, for yourself. Yeah? This is a commandment from Jesus, the God of the Old Testament. How are you telling me that the Prophet Muhammad can't be a prophet
Again,
because
you're
of certain
using the
No,
term
answer
Jesus.
my question.
I'll answer your question. I'll answer your question.
How do you follow a God who has committed these atrocities in history? How do you follow him? Can you please tell me?
I'm asking you to
How?
explain to me what you consider atrocity. Is it
Rape?
atrocity? Is it
Smashing
atrocity?
babies?
Is
Killing
it
innocent women and
atrocity?
children?
Is
And
it a
donkeys?
bro?
I don't know
1
what the
minute.
donkey did, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah, we don't know what the donkey did. We don't know, Captain. What did the donkey do?
They used to have bestiality at that time. This is why you need to read
What
the
would
context.
the donkey gonna do? What did a baby do?
Bro, 1 minute. Bro, let me talk. All right. Understanding the context of that time, you've got to apply that to the context of that time.
Okay, give me the context.
Right. The Amalekites of that time and the Israelites themselves of that time were sacrificing their babies. They were going out and murdering people and butchering them. God in Genesis 15:16 said, I'll wait 400 years whilst their iniquity increases. Once their iniquity is done, so he gives them 400 years. And he warns them.
Why? To fix up.
400 years to
Alright.
fix up their actions and stop sacrificing their babies to a false god named Molech,
Yeah.
to stop doing all that. Yeah? He gave them 400 years. They did not listen, so he instituted judgment. Then he said to Joshua, all this is in your hands. So what he means by your hands is literally, he will give them up to he will give the Canaanites, the Amalekites up to Israelites. And they were allowed then to go in and to kill them.
And
The
do what?
expressive,
Elaborate. Kill who?
expressive,
Kill who?
Bro, the expressive language used, like the expressive. I'm being specific so I can, but you need to be patient.
Okay, kill who?
The expressive language used was used by the Hebrews at that time. This is not making me making a judgment of it. Look it up yourself. It's what the Hebrews done. They use expressive language like it will exterminate them all. We'll this and that. Just like if I say I completely annihilated you in the debate, does that mean I killed you?
No.
No, it doesn't. So there's context implied, and the context there is that they said they annihilated all of them, but they did not annihilate all of them.
So
There was killing them. No, they did kill them, but they didn't annihilate all of them.
No, okay, who did they kill? Can you just be specific?
The Israelites,
They killed men.
the Israelites, the Canaanites, the Amalekites, and other groups were given into their hands.
And what did they do with them?
Bullying it.
Then they killed them.
How? Men only?
No,
Women?
no.
They didn't kill men.
Understand the context first. Before that point.
Bullying, my brethren. Why they bullying?
No, 1 minute. Before that point.
Brethren, come.
I'm trying to explain it to you.
Come.
Before that point.
What do you think I am?
Way before that point.
Huh?
What do you think
In
I am?
Exodus.
Come.
I'm asking if you
Bro,
want to come.
1 minute. I'm trying to talk, man.
I'm telling you to
In
come. We're getting
Exodus.
excited.
In Exodus, the Amalekites went and killed off the children and the elderly of the Israelites.
Yeah, I accept that, yeah.
That happened.
What did they
So
do?
God said to them, I will enforce judgment on you. He says this in Exodus as well.
Okay.
So God's already warned them of their actions, and yet
No.
they still continue to do it.
You're right, 100%.
So God, being in his fullness and knowing all things and having foreknowledge of all things, allows that happen. And honestly,
What did he do though? Look, I understand they were
I
bad in
understand
opinion.
you're going to go to 1 Samuel
Okay,
15
what did
now.
they do?
Now,
What
here
did
we-
they do?
what
No.
did
I
they do?
understand the Amalekites were very bad. They were killing, worshipping other idols, sacrificing the children. They killed the children of Israelites. I'm with you 100%. What did God of the Old Testament, as known as Jesus, commanded them to do to the Amalekites?
Right, what he commanded, he said before that, in Exodus, he says before that if you continue to do this stuff, I will bring judgment on you. That's what he says to the Amalekites.
Judgment is?
The judgment was that the wrath that was supposed to be
What's the
happening.
wrath? Can you be
The
more
wrath
specific?
was 1 Samuel 15 to 16 when they were given up to their hands.
Okay, how? Kill men? Did they kill men?
You're not being
You
serious.
know why I don't like it? Let me be honest here. Look, I've listened to
I'm
you.
not dodging the car. I'm actually trying to
You
explain
are
to you.
absolutely. You know what you're doing, bro? You know, have you seen Matrix?
I'm not dodging.
Bro, listen. Look, listen. This is what you're doing.
I'm dodging.
Captain. Look, I'm sorry, but seriously, this is inconsistency. You're coming
There's
in
no
and attacking us.
inconsistency.
You're a prophet. How can you be a prophet?
Because
Your God
because
ordered raping
as
women.
I've said to
your
you,
God ordered killing
as
men,
I've
women,
said to
children,
you,
and babies.
those old
Smash them on the
covenants
rock. Bro,
which
can you
you
imagine being a baby
ignored,
and smash on the rock? Bang.
you've
Bang,
ignored
bang.
those old covenants
And that's
in
your
which
God.
we are not part of.
Captain.
And if God orders
I
to
never
killing
said
people,
you are.
like your God did,
I
your
never
God
said
wiped out nations.
Okay.
So if God orders to killing
no.
people, are they dying in littleness or are they going up to him?
Captain, how could you tell me that my prophet is not a prophet because of a...
The reason why, because
And
your
then-
God,
and then-
your
and then-
prophet
He's a prophet.
Muhammad.
Your one is a God.
No, your prophet Muhammad is the best example for
He
all
is.
time.
But we accept that. How do you accept your God as your God?
Because
knowing
the
he
law,
told,
the
at
law
one
that
point,
in Luke
he
that
allowed
Jesus
rape.
set down
At one
was a
point, he
law for
allowed
us
killing of men,
in
women, and
all
children.
time. The new covenant.
Captain, why are you not answering me?
I'm
But
answering
did Amalekite
the
men
new
get killed?
covenant.
Okay.
So let's stay in the
Okay.
New Testament
I'm
because
gonna
I've
ask you-
explained to you the Old
Captain,
Testament.
please, allow me to ask you 5 questions. Did Amalekite men get killed?
Yes, they did get killed.
Did the woman get killed?
Yes, they did get killed.
Children?
Yes.
Babies?
Everything in that passage is true. It's 100%. But
Now-
expressive
now,
language,
how could you
listen
come to
to
me
what
now,
I'm
Captain?
saying.
How
Listen to
dare
what
you
I'm saying.
come to me
No, how dare
and
you come
question
to
the
me?
prophet's
Because you
morals
just said
when
that
you've got a
God
God
orders
that's
nations to be
smashing babies
killed.
on the rock.
So if God orders nations to be
I'm
killed,
done, bro. I don't
according to your
need to
Quran,
hear
hold
it.
on. No,
I'm
according to your
done.
Quran,
Finish.
God orders nations to be killed.
I'm
So
done.
did
I'm in
your
the
God kill
audience,
babies
bro.
and children?
I'm in the audience. Make some space for
Did your
me.
God order babies and children to be killed? One question. Come
Speak to the camera, bro. I'm done.
on. Did your God order nations to be killed or wiped out? Yes or no? Answer the question. What are you doing? You're just going to stay on.
I'm listening to you. It's done, Captain.
No, it isn't done. Because you're not listening to what I'm saying.
You're absolutely
You're not being
right.
consistent. The new covenant is for me. My faith relies on, and I'm talking to you because I was talking to you while I was here. The new covenant is reliant on me because that's the new covenant I'm supposed to follow. Right? The Old Testament God had reasons and rights in foreknowledge
Same
to
God,
do
same God,
all
same God.
to do all he was doing for that time. But this period, that which requires my faith has nothing to do with that. In Luke 22, Jesus puts a new blood covenant,
it's
and
the
new
same
blood
God.
covenant is how I
Is it
what
the
I
same-
follow.
is it the same God?
Then according to your
You better
hadith,
put this. You better put
according
this
to your
up.
Quran,
You better put this up on your channel.
according
Yeah?
to your
Don't
Quran,
you try cutting and editing it. Yeah?
according to your
You better put it up.
Quran,
And don't give me those
according to
looks.
your Quran, listen carefully.
Tell it to
According
put
to
it
your
up.
Quran,
You better put this up. Because I know they're not. They're my baby. They're not gonna
Muhammad
put this up.
is an example
You better do.
for all mankind,
Subscribe
for
to-
all
subscribe.
time. There is no new covenant. There is no new covenant. If Muhammad is that example, that means that a man has sex with a 9-year-old is your best example for all time. Done.
Thank you, all the best. Yeah? The point, guys, the point I'm trying to make here is very simple. Wallahi, when they come and say to me that your prophet did this, and this, yeah, which is basically out of context, yeah. The question that needs to ask is this: how are you? Bro, how could you come to me, yeah, with that when you know your God of the Old Testament ordered you to kill men, women, children? Wallahi, there's not a single verse in the Quran that says go and kill men, women, children, babies, rape. Not a single place. Who are you to come here, have the guts to come to me and question Islam when you have those scriptures? Thank you. Because this is